In August 1999, Vladimir Putin, who worked in Russia's secret agency FSB, was appointed acting prime minister by President Boris Yeltsin. At that time, Russia's economy was going through a terrible phase.
Yeltsin saw something in Putin that others missed. Not just loyalty, hunger. May 7th, 2000. In that single moment, the spy became the president. They called him unknown. They called him temporary. They called him Yeltsin's puppet.
Yeltsin was growing old and was preparing the young Putin as his successor. However, the common people of Russia barely knew Putin. Before the upcoming presidential elections, opinion polls showed that only about 2% of people saw him as their next president. Then, in September 1999, a series of massive apartment bombings occurred in different Russian cities, killing around 300 people. Putin, who had just become prime minister, quickly blamed Chechen separatist Islamic militant for the attack and sent Russian forces to attack Chechnya. Within a few months, Russia captured Grozny, the capital of Chechnya. As a result, Putin's popularity skyrocketed. Within just a few months, the same man who had only 2% popularity won the presidential election with 53% of the vote and became president of Russia. Although Russian courts investigated the bombings and punished several Chechen militants, independent investigators who tried to look deeper faced obstruction from the Russian administration. Some investigative journalists claim that the bombings were not linked to Chechen militants, but to Russia's own intelligence agency, the FSB, an agency once headed by Putin himself. The Russian government dismissed these claims as conspiracy theories. This was not the only time Putin faced such accusations. Throughout his rule, allegations of violence and suppression have been linked to his rise and consolidation of power, to the point where today no major political rival seems visible in Russia.
November 1989, the wall that divided a world finally cracked. Concrete and ideology crumbled together. The Cold War was over. But in the shadows of that euphoria, a quiet KGB officer in Dresden was watching, taking notes.
Putin was born on October 7, 1952 in Leningrad, now known as St. Petersburg. His father was a factory worker and a former Soviet Navy serviceman. He grew up in extreme poverty. His family lived in a small room shared with other families, including shared kitchen and bathroom facilities. He had two older brothers, both of whom died, one in childhood and the other during the Nazi siege of Leningrad in World War II due to starvation and disease. In the late 1960s, a Soviet spy film was released called The Soviet and the Shield, which inspired millions of young boys to become spies. One of them was Vladimir Putin. At the age of 16, he was inspired by the film. Vladimir Putin went directly to a KGB office. There, he was told that spies needed a law degree. So in 1970, he enrolled at Leningrad State University to study law. After graduating in 1925, he joined the KGB as an intelligence officer. His early work involved monitoring foreign students and tourists. Later, he trained at the Red Banner Institute, where he learned espionage techniques, code breaking, and foreign languages, including German. In 1985, he was posted to Dresden in East Germany, where his job was to monitor Western countries like the United States and the NATO. After World War II, Germany was divided into East and West. East Germany was controlled by the Soviet Union and followed communism, while West Germany followed capitalism. In 1989, protests in East Germany led to the fall of the Berlin Wall, a symbolic collapse of communism. During this chaos, Putin burned secret documents to protect Soviet intelligence. He later wrote that this was the moment he realized the Soviet Union was collapsing. In 1991, the Soviet Union officially dissolved. After losing his KGB job, Putin struggled financially, even working as a taxi driver for some time. Eventually, he joined St. Petersburg State University and later entered politics under his former professor Anatoly Sobchak. From there, his political career rapidly grew. By 1998, he became head of the FSB and by 1999, Secretary of the Security Council. During this period, Russia's economy collapsed. In 1998, Russia defaulted on its debt and the ruble crashed. Public anger against Yeltsin grew. Yeltsin needed a successor and chose Putin. Then came the 1999 bombings, which changed everything. Putin blamed Chechen militants and launched the Second Chechen War. Using fear of terrorism, he gained massive public support. However, suspicious incidents like prior knowledge of attacks and strange training exercise involving explosives in Ryazan led many to suspect a possible false flag operation. Still, no conclusive proof was ever established. After becoming president, Putin moved quickly to consolidate power. He targeted powerful oligarchs, which mean like businessmen, who had gained wealth after the Soviet collapse. Some were jailed, exiled, or stripped of their assets, including figures like Mikhail Khodorkovsky and Boris Berezovsky. He brought media under state control, placed loyalties in key positions, and centralized authority. Critics and opponents faced severe consequences. Former spy Alexander Litvinenko was poisoned with radioactive polonium-210 in London in the year 2006. In 2018, Sergei Skripal was poisoned with a nerve agent. In 2020, opposition leader Alexei Navalny was poisoned and later died in prison in 2024 under mysterious circumstances. Even internal threats were neutralized. In June 2023, Wagner Group led by Yevgeny Prigozhin launched a rebellion against Russia's military leadership. They captured key cities and marched toward Moscow. But within hours, a deal was broke and the rebellion ended. 2 months later, in August 2023, Prigozhin died in a plane explosion along with his top commanders. The exact cause remains unclear. Today, Putin was maintained power since 2000. Russia's security agencies, political system, and economy are tightly controlled by his loyalties. Removing him from power appears extremely difficult.